Today is tax day and a reminder of the tax burden Americans share to fund our government. It is a day to focus on the Internal Revenue Service as well as the policy debates about the whole issue of taxation. The IRS does business with more Americans than any other arm of the federal government. The IRS was created in 1913 with the ratification of the 16th Amendment. Congress enacted a federal income tax system, and with it, an agency charged with administering our tax laws. In Congress, I've worked to hold the IRS accountable and push for efforts to improve customer service and put a premium on fairness and integrity. I have also worked to lower the tax burden to help create private sector jobs. As chairman of the Tax Writing Committee in the Senate, I steered two of the largest tax cuts in modern history through Congress. Those tax laws made the tax code more progressive. They reduced the lowest tax rate to 10% and dropped the top rate to 35%. Capital gains and dividends for middle and low-income taxpayers, primarily seniors who save for retirement, are now tax-free. If Congress doesn't extend that tax relief this year, Americans then will face the biggest tax increase in the history and do it without even a vote of Congress. My philosophy is that working men and women deserve to keep more of their hard-earned money. America has entrepreneurs, small business owners, and investors who will generate more prosperity, economic growth, and jobs if they have more of their own money staying in their own pockets. Even so, Washington has spent the last year putting yet more pressure on the taxpayers, both immediately and for decades to come. The health care reform enacted in March raised taxes, including on even middle-income Americans, and it created a whole new entitlement program. While the economic downturn has forced American families to tighten their belts, the federal government has ramped up spending inside and outside the Beltway. As a result, the national debt is soaring and the annual budget deficit tops more than $1 trillion for the second year in a row. Now, instead of cutting back on spending to tackle the debt crisis, unfunded mandates, and government bailouts, the White House and other Democratic leaders in Congress are looking for ways to collect even more revenue by adding new layers of taxes. As an example, a recent White House advisor has suggested that a value-added tax be adopted for the first time ever in the United States. This is the wrong idea. Federal spending is on track to reach 25% of the U.S. economy. Washington's move away from the historic average of about 20% threatens the economic dynamics of a competitive marketplace. A chronic cycle of borrowing and spending by the federal government is not the way that we achieve long-term economic growth and job creation. During 2 weeks of constituent meetings in 24 counties this spring, I heard more concern from Iowans about the explosion of government spending. I agree with those who want to keep more of their hard-earned money to decide for themselves how to save and spend or even invest if they choose to do that. The problem isn't that Americans are taxed too little. It's that the government spends too much.